YouTube. So I am today doing some of the carpeting of the interior of my T5 project, and I'm just at the point now where I am I've done a few cards. I'm quite confident about what I'm doing. I'm not yet doing the van. I'm going to do a separate video for that in a moment, but I just wanted to stop while I've got an idea of what I'm doing and explain to you how I've been doing it. I've picked up some ideas off of other people on YouTube videos, and this is just the way that I've found best. So I bought from Harrison's Trim Supplies, the link will appear in the video. I bought some of this stuff, which is 4-way stretchy carpet, and then what I've done, I've basically got the different parts of the door cards, such as these here. What I've done is I've taken them out. You can see this one's got left hand on it, it's probably back to front. This one's got right hand on it, just to identify as they come out of the van, so I know which ones go on a bit easier when they're carpeted, because they're going to look slightly different. Now, one of the things is that you might recall, if you've got these on your van, is that on here are those annoying little clips that you have to almost like pop an Allen key in, and then you put in a little pry, which I've got one just here. So yeah, so you pry that underneath it, and then you pop it off. Problem is, I don't want those on all of my door cards showing through when I pop them on. I just want the door cards to be nice and sleek, a little bit like this one that I've done down here, which you can hopefully, if I step back a bit, see, you can hopefully see that looks really nice and neat. Now, if you look on the back, what I've popped on there are these little sort of almost like hidden head fixings that I got from Harrison's. Again, they do them in bags of 20, 100, 120, I think, something like that. It's a bit weird. Here's the bag just here, but if I get one and try and show it to you, you'll see there that it's got this little bit that you just pop in the door card. If I show you on this one, let's try and do this like this. See, so you get it there and you just pop that in there, you twist it round, and then it's in there. And then if you look from the other side, you can see it just there. It's not going to go anywhere. The carpet will lay on top of that, and then you won't be able to see it, which is really, really good. So what I've then done is got my carpet, I've laid it out on a table, and I've cut it into size with a bit of an overlap, about an inch overlap. So you can see these two side ones here. And then that way I know that I've got enough so that when I glue it, I've got enough to be able to stick it over like that, which is rather cool. Okay, so I'm now outside. Here's the stuff that I got from Harrison's, which is a contact adhesive. You basically spray it directionally on the carpet and then also on the door card, and then the two sticky surfaces stick together. Obviously, wait till they sort of tackify, get a bit dry. So I'm just going to record me doing this bit, and then I'll show sticking them together, and hopefully you'll from there be able to see how it works. As you can see, makes you feel a little bit like Superman, or sorry, Spider-Man, as it comes out. One of the things just to mention on the door card, I've put all the clips in beforehand because you don't want to be putting them in afterwards. It's just a bit more complicated. In the sun like this, we haven't got long before it starts to tackify. So what I'll do, I'll stop it now and then I'll try and record me putting it down on the inside. I've sprayed the carpet, obviously that's laid there, and now what I'm going to do is just show you how I'm going to lay it on there, and then the cuts that I'm going to do to fit the carpet on the inside, and I'll fast forward that bit, but just so you can see it. Okay, so this stuff is really, really sticky. So what you want to try and do is lay one edge down rather than just bang it on flat, because once it's on, it is pretty much going to be on. As you can see, that's quite a good fit. The other side will stick down nicely. Now, the one thing which I forgot to mention is that we also need to spray this inner edge, because this stuff, although it's sticky, it's only really sticky when it sticks to a surface that's got that on. So I'm just going to very quickly take this outside, and then what I'm going to do is just spray around this edge where all the markers are along here, some more contact adhesive, so that then when we fold the carpet over like this, it will adhere nicely and it won't be peeling off within a couple of weeks or even in a year. We don't want it to come off. Now, as you can see, I've sprayed all the way around the edge. Quite a bit of an overlap on this, but that doesn't really matter. And then what I'll do, I will just fold it all over, and then I'm going to use some scissors, and also I find this little trim tool quite handy just to get in and under and poke. But I won't talk too much, and I'll just do it as I go. You want to make sure you're putting this tight all the time. We're just putting this over to start sticking it on as best as we can. Make sure it's sticky and contact dry, and then that way it should all start just peeling on. You might wonder why I'm sticking it over the top of the these things. I've forgotten what they're called. Of the trim fixings, whatever they're called. That's because what I'm going to do now, hopefully this will work, this is what I've found to be the best way, is to just cut in under here with some scissors, and then you should be able to, using this little fella, is just push these under there like that. Just getting a bit closer. There we go. And then you just stick that under there like that. There we go. And that is a beautiful edge, and it's got some contact adhesive on it, but that carpet isn't going to go anywhere. And then you basically just do that all the way around, nipping along like this. Just nip along, not right up to the very edge. You want to sort of leave a few mil so that you're not cutting in the edge bit. Then you just open it up, tuck it under there, which is great. And you can actually peel this back up if you need to. The only problem is after one or two sort of lifting it up and putting it back down, it sort of loses its stickiness. But look, there we go. That's nice and beautiful there. And then just using this trim, pulling the thing back on itself like that. Just get the trim underneath. Look at that. That is a beautiful job. And then we're just basically going to do that all the way around. I'll show you one of the corners. The corners are a bit more tricky. So what I tend to do, I'm not too worried about the trim on the back because you're not actually going to see it, is I just trim off a lot of the excess like this, making sure that you've got enough space. Some left over. Stick all this down. Let's get that a bit closer so you can see it. And then you can see here, I'm just going to fold that underneath, just like that. And then what I might do is just cut that little bit. Look, and I'm just pulling that back on itself. Can you see that? Pulling it back on itself, tucking all the carpet just underneath, and that looks really nice. And it's not going to go anywhere. That carpet's not going to come out. And we just basically work all the way around all of these different edges, and then the finished product will look a bit like this. There we go. So look, it looks really nice. If I spin that around, see all those edges look quite smart. You're not going to see this side anyway. And then what I do once this is all done is I just pop it over, and then I won't do it on the table because I don't want to scratch it because those pins on the bottom. But basically get it on the carpet or on a flat surface and just really rub this down, because you've obviously got, you might have a few little ripples, or you might have some contact adhesive that's not actually pushed down properly. And then that is basically your panel done. Some of the panels have little holes in, like for door handles and stuff. So all you would do, if you hang on 2 quick seconds. So there is this door panel that had a, I'll turn it out this way so you can see it, that had a hole in it. So all I did there was got some scissors. Obviously that was carpeted there. I popped it through the middle, cut to each corner, cut off the trim, did a bit of spray adhesive around the outside, and then just folded it over, and as you can see from the other side, it looks pretty smart, really. You wouldn't know. The only thing you really want to try and be careful with on this carpet is you want to try, if I turn you around here, okay, so you can see me now. So one of the things you want to try on this carpet is to not get it on the wrong side. So you'll see, it might not come through very clear on here, but this is the top side. You can see it's got quite a nice finish to it, but then the reverse side is this side, and it looks a bit more matted. And so what you don't want to do, and be very careful, is when you're outside and you're spraying or you're cutting, spray the right side, otherwise you ruined a bit of carpet, and it's expensive stuff. You don't want to be throwing it away. So there's that. But it's really smart carpet. Like I'll show you, see it stretches in lots of different directions, so it's great. If you cut it a bit short, actually you can just stand there and work it a little bit and pull it all into direction. Okay, so there we go. Door cards done. The other thing, just very quickly, don't get any of the contact adhesive on the top surface. I've got a little bit on mine, just some residue, and you can sort of pick it off, but you don't really want to be picking it off because then it's going to cause furring on the top and it'll look a bit bubbly. You don't really want that, and you particularly don't want a large bit of it because it's just going to ruin it and you're going to have to recarpet it. And once this stuff is stuck on, it will come off, but you've ruined a bit of carpet and it's going to make the job of the next one a lot more difficult.